Yo, what's up, guys? Mike Thomas, aka the Young Trishula here. I am once again back with Twitch chat. They're still over here. It has been a minute since we have done one of these videos, and hi, I'm back. We've been a little bit busy. We were at the YCS. We've been practicing for DC Cup, which is coming up this month in a few weeks. And as you guys know, it's the start of a new month, so it's the start of a new season of Master Duel. And we're, of course, because it's been like 24 hours, we're already Master 1. So I just wanted to share with you guys the deck that I've been playing and just kind of go over it. This is kind of an update to my previous Snake Eye deck lists, deck profiles, and I'm also going to just, because I love you guys, since it's been like 3 weeks since I posted, I'm going to throw in my updated like turn one kind of combo as well for you guys. So go down into the comments and remember to say thank you for including the combo in the same video. So go do that. Remember to like and subscribe while you're down there, and yada yada yada. Couple more housekeeping things to do before we get into the video. Number one is to go download the Yu-Gi-Oh deck tracker for Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel through untap.gg. They did the deck trackers for like Magic the Gathering Arena, Hearthstone, Marvel Snap. Super cool, guys. Helps us out a lot. The link is down in the description below, and it helps you track your stats and import and export decks into Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. Super useful. Another thing real quick is that this video is not sponsored by HelloFresh, but our Twitch streams currently are. So we currently have a HelloFresh promo code. So HelloFresh, if you're unaware, is the #1 meal kit in America, and they kind of like ship you healthy food straight to your door. And it's a pretty cool program. Go check that out. This isn't a sponsored video, but I'll put the link down there if you want to get some HelloFresh. I think you can get like 12 free meals when you use our code. So if you're hungry and you need to save some money on like food, groceries, go do that. Helps us out as well. So I'll put the link down there. We'll just get into the deck list and stuff. Also, just for people who care, this is our Master Duel ID. You guys have been following it. Sometimes I post my replays, like this one that I'm going to show you guys real quick. So this is a replay of kind of like an optimal turn one. This is kind of like the you get everything type of board. And I just figured I'd show you guys this game to show you what this deck is capable of. This is using a little bit of an outdated deck list, as you'll see. So I have Where Art Thou in this hand, which I'm not playing in the deck list. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. But it's the same extra deck, same end board. So I figured I'll just show it to you guys just because. So we're going to normal summon our Snake Eye Ash, pretty normal. They're going to Ash Blossom us. And what's cool about this replay, and the reason I want to show it off, is the fact that you can do a lot if your opponent ashes you way too early. So we use the Where Art Thou kind of as like a bootleg bonfire and just get the Poplar out of deck. We get the field spell, put the Flame Bridge here. And then we make our Heat of the Fire Charmer. Poplar effect is going to put itself down there, and then I'm going to steal the Ash Blossom. Now, I'm going to do something that you might not have thought to do before if you're playing this deck, because I didn't think about it immediately. Like, it took me, like a little bit of practice with the deck before I'm like, oh, hey, I can do this. So I figure I'd just point this out. So I'm going to summon out my Diabell here, and then I'm going to use their Ash Blossom and the Diabell for a Baron. So this is really fun, is, when you have the Diabell and your opponent ashes you early, you can set your original and then steal their Ash with a Hita and then go for Baron. And now that we're protected, I can just send my my Flame Bridge, summon out Oak, and then I can go into my IP Masquerena. You'll see here that I didn't actually trigger my Flame Bridge because I wanted to resolve that Oak. And I'll go for IP into Promethean. Promethean will get me back my Flame Bridge. Flame Bridge effect will go for IP Masquerena. And now this is where I think a lot of people start to stop and they start to make mistakes, is that a lot of people will just go for Amblo Whale here. And I don't think Amblo Whale is actually all that good. So we're going to go for the Sunlight Wolf, and then we're going to trigger the Flame Bridge, summon back 2. Sunlight Wolf can then trigger, get back our Oak for follow-up. And then we can link off into our Link Karibo, which we never went through. If it's in your graveyard, obviously you just summon it back at this point. And then you go for Heat Soul, and Heat Soul can then draw you a card. So this is kind of what you want to set up, is something like Heat Soul plus Baron and IP. That's kind of what I've been going for with this deck. I am still playing like the Jet Synchron, so you can go into Formula to set this up pretty easily. And, you know, you're drawing a card. You draw 2 cards off of the Heat Soul, which is, in my opinion, way better than going for, you know, like, that's just way better than going for, like, an Amblo Whale that just sits around and does nothing. Here as well, I'm going to show off a clever little thing that you can do, which is that if you leave Poplar on your field, you can tribute it off on the opponent's turn with Linkaribo to get that Flamberge back into the spell trap, so that now we still have access to Flamberge. So they're going to go race off, and we are going to summon back the Flamberge now. And then Flamberge, of course, can summon out our IP Masquerade. We see that they're playing Tier, so they're going to go for Seamare. I'm going to just negate the Hapness, and then chain my Flamberge here, because this Fenrir is on the field, so I want to just make sure I can link off whatever they target. And here I'm going to make like a little oopsie poopsie. Just because I remember playing this game, they targeted the field spell. I thought they clicked the Flamberge because that was what they were supposed to target. So because of that, I end up linking awkwardly like those 3 guys into like a unicorn. If I had like noticed that, I just would have like ignored it and made like a big ass Apollo or something. But like just keep in mind, like those are cool things that you can do. Another cool thing that you should know about like this board is that when you have the Promethean Princess in graveyard, like say this wasn't the game state and my opponent like special the guy, and I go Promethean Princess effect, target my Heat Soul and target whatever they summon, I can chain the IP Masquerena, use the Heat Soul and the IP to make like an Apollo for 2 mats, and then Princess will still resolve popping their guy and summoning to the board, even though my guy doesn't get popped. Which is really efficient use of your material on field, and that's why I really like this board over some of the other boards that you can make with this deck. And of course, you know, we're just gonna float back and just get all of our guys. And here, you know, Maxi steals another game. Funny level 2 Earth Insect. So we can just speed up at this point. The game does play out a little bit longer here, but you know, I think you get the idea. The idea is to just kind of, instead of going for Amblo Whale, is to make like a Heat Soul board with the IP and just start drawing cards, and then protect that with a Baron as well. And, you know, here I just went for like a big Apollo. They went for their Mudora. I think I just Apollo negated. No, I didn't negate it because they added back their Havness. And then I just summoned the Oak. They activated Havness. I saved the negate for them, and then they scoop. So that's kind of the idea with the deck, is to just set up a negate plus like 6 cards in hand with the Heat Soul. And it worked out pretty well for us. You can see here I still have my win rate on the screen from our ladder climb. We just finished it. And I went 74 and 35 with this concept of the deck. I changed it a few times during my run, but this standard concept was about, you know, like a 67, close to 70% win rate overall. So pretty decent, I would say. This is the list that I played by the time I got to Master 1. So again, this deck list is in my Discord as well, if you want to go join that, be a part of our community. As well as the untap.gg code is going to be both in the Discord, and I'll put it down in the description as well. And if you have the untap.gg like extension for Master Duel, you can just copy that code, and then when you load up, it'll just import the deck for you, which is a really cool feature. So if you don't know what these cards' names are, that's totally fine. You don't need to, but I'll go over them anyway, just in case. So let's just start off. We played 3 Snake Eye Ash. Obviously, this is like the best card in the deck. It's the normal summon. And then we played 1 Oak and 2 Poplar. This I think is pretty standard, as the like standard 3-2-1 ratio. Nothing really to say there. We don't play 3 Poplar. I've seen some people starting to experiment with that. I think that's just redundant and not very good, because you don't really want to draw this card. It's not a good card to draw. So I don't think playing 3 Poplar is correct. Birch isn't super necessary, so we're just not playing it. We don't necessarily have to play 2 Oak, so it's, you know, these all kind of speak for themselves. We also played 2 Flamberge. I've finally been pilled on this. it's been decent. It's been decent. I still think that you could get away with playing just one, but we're playing two right now. As for the Diabell engine, so that's all the Snake Eye cards. As for the Diabells, we're playing 3-3. I think 3-3 is optimal for maximum consistency, especially since we don't have Bonfire or anything like that. So definitely just max out on those, just get your consistency up. And then for the non-engine monsters that are not hand traps, I played one Jet Synchron and one Magician Souls. Magician Souls actually is kind of a mistake in this deck list. I was playing Where Art Thou before, which you guys saw in that previous replay, and previously you would search Magician Souls with Where Art Thou when you just needed the extender. I forgot to take it out when I took out Where Art Thou, so it's still in the deck list. So you can play it if you want. It's still decent. It could also just be a second copy of Nibiru though, so maybe just cut it for a nib. But it still did its job. It was a trooper. It was a soldier. And then we play the one Jet Synchron, obviously, for the Synchro engine. You'll notice down here, kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but you'll notice that I did not play the Savage, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But those are all like the engine monsters. And you can see this deck list is pretty straightforward, with the engine just being like the minimum Snake Eye engine, maxed out on Diabells, and then the two Flamberge plus the extra little guys. The rest of the deck is just hand traps. Like the rest of the deck is just hand traps. We played 3 Veiler, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash, 2 Gamma, 2 Mourner, Nibiru, and of course Driver, the best card in the deck. So these were all like good monster hand traps. They're all very, very good. Mourner is especially good because it's just extra copies of Veiler, and Veiler is super, super good in this meta. So just, I wanted as many copies of this as possible. We also played the 3 Imperms, obviously. As for the rest of the cards, like we play the Call Buys, Crossouts, obviously a Maxi package. And then really the only other cards were just 1-for-1, and then the 2 Snake Eye spells, the Divine Temple and the original. You don't need to play multiple of this. I see people still playing multiple of this. You don't need to do that because you can just recycle it with Wanted, and you never want to see multiple of this card ever. So yeah, just play one. This list is pretty tight. I'm pretty happy with it overall. As for the extra deck, we played the one Formula, the one Baron. So I'm not playing Savage because I really didn't feel like the Savage lines came up enough. Yeah, the Savage lines just always felt like they played into Ash Blossom really badly, because you would have to put the Diabell on board early, and then you have to send your Link Kuriboh with Original, which means that if you get Ashed, you're losing a monster, which can sometimes mean that you just end up on a much worse end board. So I didn't really love that. So I cut it, and I never missed it. Because a lot of times what you can end up doing is you're going to just be making the Formula Synchron, and then you get the Flamberge on field with the Formula next to it, and the opponent's kind of forced to interact with you, because if they don't, you make the Baron on your turn, and then you just play, and then you trigger Flamberge, summon your guys back, and then you just play. So because of that, you know, I just felt like these were consistent enough. It also opened up space in the extra deck, because the extra deck is kind of tight. A lot of these cards, like everything from this point onwards, I really don't think you can cut. The extra deck is so tight. So we played the Link Kuriboh. Obviously, this is just the Link one of the deck. Then we played the Sunlight Wolf. So this is a card that a lot of people on Master Duel haven't been playing. Obviously, we play this in the TCG, but like in Master Duel, people aren't playing it as much. I think they're crazy. This card is insane, especially because Max Seed is in the format. You get Max Seed, you Ash Blossom them, and then it's like, oh, well, I just lost a hand trap. But if you go into Sunlight Wolf, you can get this back, and now you have your hand trap again. So it's very, very, very useful. It also sets up your Heat Soul with the Link Kuriboh. So like as you saw in the combo, instead of going for like Amblo Whale on turn 1, we were going Princess into Sunlight Wolf, adding back our Oak for follow-up, and then summoning back the Link Kuriboh, going into Heat Soul and drawing 2 cards. So Pot of Greed is very, very good. Shout outs to the 2004 event. We're playing Hida, obviously, to steal, same with Dark Charmer. Both of these are just very, very useful. IP Masquerena, it's part of the end board. Unicorn pairs with the IP Masquerena. Celine, this just allows you to go into Apollos or go into access code. It just makes your Charmers a little bit better. We already talked about Heat Soul. Princess is obviously the card that makes this deck very, very strong. This card is broken. Yeah, Shadow's Princess. We do still play the Amblo Whale, even though we're not going for it. The reason we're playing Amblo Whale is because Raging Phoenix is not in the game. And if you want to go for a Zelantis OTK, you need a Link 4 Fire. So this is the Link 4 Fire that we play. And sometimes, you know, if you get hand trapped awkwardly, you can always just go for like a standard like Amblo Whale plus Princess and IP board, like if you get hand trapped a lot. So it still has its uses, but this will probably get cut when we get Raging Phoenix eventually. We played Apollo, Access Code, and Zelantis as the big Link Force. So not really too much to say about these. If you don't know, Zelantis allows you to OTK. And Zelantis is also really good when you pair it with Baron, because you can use the Baron, negate a card, and then go Zelantis, tag it out, and then its negate is live again. Which is really funny. Somebody nibbed me like super early, and I just negated it with Baron, and then I brought the Baron back after ripping a nib out of their hand. So pretty funny card. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's not too much to talk about other than, you know, kind of the basics we've gone over. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to drop some like more replays, because I'm gonna be playing the deck a lot. You know, we're live on Twitch every day at twitch.tv/TTV. Come check us out. We have some fun over there. But yeah, I'm live pretty much every day. We're practicing for DC Cup. So if you want to learn the deck before Duelist Cup later this month, come check us out. We're going to be playing it. Let me know if I should post more replays. HelloFresh and Untapped GG down in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe. Say goodbye to Twitch chat. Yeah, goodbye.